I have given 3 interviews. One was Hashi Corporation, second was Chrysler, and the third one was Tata Motors.
But your department looks very fascinating to me. JLR, Sakuar and Nado.
Right. Let's say, like I have mentioned, creative, that I am creative. So I was asked in Tata Motors that how can you put some personal life example and professional life example how you are creative. So
Okay, seems interesting.
yeah.
And what is the stipend there?
Yeah. So the main part is stipend. Every student looks after this stipend.
Now tell me your answer. Like, how do you answer a package?
That's so right. Be specific about what you have written in your CVC. Can ask you anything.
Tell me, like, how do you come to know about these vacancies in Tata, or how anybody other can, come to know about these vacancies? Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second episode of mini podcast series. Today, we have Anurag, and he's doing CA Industrial Trainee at Tata. So, hi, Anurag. How are you?
Hi Naman, I'm fine. How are you?
All good, buddy. All good, buddy. So, Anurag, give me a please, take me to your brief introduction, like what work you do and how's your work profile.
Right. So, myself Anurag, I'm born and brought up in Jaipur only, and I have done my articleship in one of the renowned chartered accountancy firm of Jaipur, that is S Bhandari and Company LLP, right? And I have been exposed to various domains, various industries.
Bhandari, I've heard the name.
Yeah, S Bhandari. So I have been exposed to various domains and various industries. My first client was a listed entity, and I was assigned to limited review of that entity. Limited review, if I know, I think everybody knows, it is a compliance, uh, yeah, done for CB. And then after that, I was assigned to internal audits of one of the famous food chain in Jaipur, that is Kana. And after that, yeah, and then I was assigned to statutory audit of one of the IT based company, and I performed tax audit of the same client only. And after that, somehow I switched to CA Industrial Training when I got the opportunity from Tata Motors. So yeah.
Okay. But is was your CA firm okay in letting you go? Because I have heard generally in Jaipur, firms won't allow their articles to go for CA district training and all.
So right. This is a problem. This is one of the biggest problem in a CA student's career when switching from articleship to CA industrial training. But somehow I managed to convince my principal, and I switched from articleship to industrial training.
Fantastic. So, like, for how many tenure you worked in their article film firm? 1.5.
No, like I belong to the new scheme of CA education, right? That is 2 years of articleship. So in this, it is mandatory to go through 1 year of articleship under a CA, and after that, it is on your choice that you want to continue the articleship or you want to switch to industrial training. So after completion of 1 year, I switched to industrial training at Tata Motors.
Fantastic, fantastic, Anurag. So basically, you worked in audits, right?
Right, mostly audits and minimum of ITRs, I can say.
Cool enough.
Right.
Okay, now let's come to your Tata profile. Like, in which profile you're working on, and how is your overall experience there?
Right.
Explain me everything about Tata Motors.
Right. So, in Tata Motors, I am working with the JLR division, that is Jaguar and Land Rovers, and in that I am a part of R2R team, that is record to report. So, basically, the work experience which I have been experienced till date is that, the main task of R2R team is to perform book closing activities during month end. And since it is I'm working with JLR division, that is Jaguar and Land Rovers, it is based in UK. So I have been exposed to overseas clients, which is one of which I consider as personal. Personally, I consider this as a great achievement, because at this early stage, I am getting overseas exposure. So right, so in R2R, we what we basically do is during month end we close their books on the like we do several journal entries, reconciliations, monthly reports, so like that.
Yeah, I can relate with you because I am too working in RRO to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, okay. But your department looks very fascinating to me. JLR, Jaguar and Nandro.
Right.
Crazy man, crazy man. Like, of how many people you are a team of?
There are almost 15 plus senior managers and 30 plus executives. That makes up to, I guess, 70 or 80 people.
Okay, good enough. And like, how's your work experience? Okay, I have got like what you work there, but what's your work experience like? How's the team and how's your general day goes there?
Right. So let me start with my day. So basically, as you know that you also belong to R2R, you know that not much work during months. but there is a pressure during month end. We need to complete our deadlines. We need to meet our KPIs. I don't have one KPI, but like my managers and other employees have, so I know about that. So we need to close books. We have been given a deadline of 3 days to pass all the journal entries, so that every journal, every figure is posted in the accounts properly and accurately. And after that, like we have been given deadlines of 4 to 5 days to run the reconciliations of those entries only, so that the account balance matches. And yeah, apart from that, during non-month end period, that is middle of the month, what I usually do is like I have some monthly reports, that is payroll reports, which I need to complete so that the respective stakeholder can make use of it. And apart from that, like I don't have much work during the non-month end period, so I can manage my studies there. And I have got this fantastic senior manager, which so she supports me in my studies and grabbing the right opportunities so that I can balance them accordingly.
Great. Yeah, you're right that manager plays important role in any organization.
So, like I've been told by my one of the team member that the domain in which you are working, that solely does not define perfect field or perfect knowledge. There are three things: people, work, and the culture. So I guess I have got three, both of them. What we say, like uh, non-toxic and supportive. So like the team is like my family only. They are very much concerned about me, each and every person. They always ask me about my health, my studies. Recently I got a problem in shifting, so they were continuously asking me about that. So it feels like we are one family, and I can have no informal discussion with them also about career and the other aspect. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Right.
Okay, now I was coming to your studies, like how you're managing your studies. Like after taking a decision of moving for CA Industrial Training, another big doubt comes in dilemma for CA students is how will they manage their studies and all.
Right. So, what I believe is like previously when there was 3 years of articleship when you were doing CA, right? So there was this that we need to complete 1.5 years of articleship, and then afterwards we are eligible for industrial training, right? So we and in that also the exam leaves standards were set for 3 months, but that is completely different in my scenario because I fall in the scheme of 2 years of articleship, right? So I have got 9 months of study leave. I will be terminated at July 2025, and my exam is due in May 2026. So that gives me an ample amount of time to prepare for my studies. Apart from that,
Yeah,
yeah,
in new scheme it is very good that you number of leaves is fixed. In my case, when I was in ITC, like it was 2 months, 3 months, depends on them how much they will give.
right, right. I remember that you told me that you need to negotiate with your managers to increase your dues. Yeah, yeah. So yes. So in my case, like I don't have to negotiate or something like that. I have a contract of 1 year, and when that contract is terminated, I will be released from my job role, and I will totally focus on my studies after that. And apart from that, in the middle of the industrial training, so what I feel is like I have talked to a lot of my friends who are also doing industrial training. So they have also told me, and I have personally experienced that the managers and the team also knows that this person is managing his study along with the work. So they try to give that much work to you only so that it does not create a hindrance in your studies. Like you know that as a learner we have this curiosity of taking more and more work. Like I'm free, can you give me more work? So I once approached my manager, and she told me that she will only assign that much of work which will not create any hindrance in my studies. So this is the best part. So I have been exposed to various opportunities, talking to overseas clients, like presenting PPTs and and many more. But it does not create any hindrance in my studies. Like I have completed so far 2 subjects, FR and AFM, and that's I guess more than enough at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And now tell me, like, how do you come to know about these vacancies in Tata, or how anybody other can, come to know about these vacancies?
Right. So once you are in this new scheme, you are eligible after one completion of 1 year of articleship. So when you are about to complete that, you need to start finding the right opportunities before 3 months or 2 months. I guess you need to prepare your CV accordingly, and you need to look for these opportunities through LinkedIn. There are various LinkedIn profiles. Like I have shared you with one, Nihil Khandelia. He keeps on updating about the vacancies which are coming over and over. Apart from that, there are WhatsApp groups, there are Telegram groups who keeps on updating about the vacancies. Other method I have not followed that method, but many people suggest that, like, you can do cold mailing. Yeah, there is a sheet which is keeps on forwarding. There are in that sheet there are email IDs of many HRs of the respective companies. So you can cold mail them that I am looking for this opportunity. If you have any, you can have a look over my profile and something like that. So the
Yes.
method.
Even I suggest for cold mailing.
Yeah, yeah, you can also, right. So the best part to go for vacancies is through LinkedIn and WhatsApp groups. And since the competition is, I guess, a little bit high as compared to your time, because at that time,
Now it's bit high because everybody wants to get in.
right, because we have this much this time to prepare for our studies, so like nobody wants to lose this opportunity. So I guess, and there are lots and lots of vacancies coming out from Grow, ITC, Flipkart, etc., etc.
Fantastic.
Right.
Okay. And please post our podcast, share me all those links and references while it has in the description for our audience.
Sure, sure.
Great. Now let's come to your interview experience. Like what technical questions you exactly faced. You have to tell me those questions.
Right.
And what you want upcoming chartered, upcoming, C aspirants to prepare for these interviews, for CA interviews of industrial trainings.
Right. So for preparing for the interviews, firstly you need to build your CV in a correct way. That means you don't have to overhype your CV with this domain, this domain, that domain. No, what you have done, you should be confident about it, and you should write only that thing. You don't have to lie in your CV, because the interviewer can find out. Secondly, I have given 3 interviews. One was Hashi Corporation, second was Chrysler, and the third one was Tata Motor. So what I have found common in these interviews is that they know that you are still a student, you have not much learned in your work experience. So they only ask around your CV, what you have mentioned, what is your work experience in your articleship. Apart from that, they will ask you about that role specific questions. Let's say if you are applying for a R2R industrial training opportunity or finance opportunity, then they will surely ask you about Ind AS, they will surely about accounting standards, they will surely ask you about uh, uh, other accounting principles. So
As far as you are mentioning Indias, like from my experience also, I can say to the audience that you must, prepare with Indias 116 leases,
right,
revenue recognition 115.
right.
These are major ones.
These are feature work. Right, right. Right, 115, 116, then consolidations, financial instruments. These are some favorite topics of the interviewers. So they will ask about this. And apart from that, if you have mentioned any quality, let's say like I have mentioned creative, that I am creative. So I was asked in Tata Motors that how can you quote some personal life example and professional life example how you are creative. So
Okay, seems interesting.
yeah, so be specific about what you have written in your CV. They can ask you anything around your CV.
Now tell me your answer. Like how do you answer a
Right.
creative?
So, right.
Hmm.
What? Firstly, I was literally shocked because that was my first time. The panel was of 3 people, and I was shocked because I don't know that 3 people can take us in single interview at a time. So, and they asked me about that. You have written creative, and can you quote some examples? So I was fumbled. I stopped for a while. Then I somehow created some imaginary scenario in my mind, and I was at that time working in internal audit of Kana. Right. So, what as a team we discovered this uh, lacking point in Tana's working area, that they don't have any flowcharts or any process notes. So every time a new team comes to for the internal audit, every time they need to ask the management how the whole process goes, whole purchase process, whole sales process. So what as a team we did was we created a flowchart so that it will be helpful for further articles who will be assigned with the internal audit. So what I did was I told interviewer that it was my idea, and I told the team that we should make this flowchart and then the whole thing. So I somehow lied, but
Cool. Yeah.
they don't know about
Well,
that.
but yeah,
Yeah.
it's not about the lie. You have to play sometimes smart.
Right, right. So I told him that I'm creative in this way.
Okay.
So,
And buddy, what was stipend there? I mean, what is the stipend there?
yeah. So the main part is stipend. Every student looks after this stipend because, like, this is the first stage where we start earning, right? So the stipend in Tata Motors is 25,000, which is a pretty handsome amount to survive in a city like Pune. Like, I don't have to be dependent on my parents. So this is my first time I'm financially independent. So yeah, it is a sense of proud somehow.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. 25K is a pretty good amount.
Right, right. As a student, it is a very, yeah.
Okay. Now, one last piece of advice, you want to give to your juniors, that whether to pursue industrial training or not, whether to come in Tata or not. Like, what agenda piece of advice you would like to give?
Sure, sure. So, like, I have this friend. You also know. I won't mention the name of the friend. So, he is preparing for industrial training. He got the opportunity from one of the biggest newspaper, I guess, Hindustan Times, and he got selected also. But he's asking me like, is it the right opportunity? I will not regret. I have studies to manage. Will I get the time to manage my studies? And he's listening advices of other people also. Like his there is his friend who is telling him that Anurag's scenario was different, his classes were completed, so he chose industrial training. You don't take this risk. You have to manage your studies and like that. So what I want to say is, since ICI has reduced our practical training time to 2 years, and ICI has given us 9 months of studies, that's ample amount of studies to crack CA final exam. You should take this opportunity. Like industrial training will help you get an edge over other competitors. Since I have got this opportunity, I came to know that only CA is nothing. So when you are applying for your first job, there will be many candidates who have done articleship from firms. There are many candidates who have done the articleship from firms. What will give edge to you is industrial training. You have already that particular exposure of the corporate world, right? Exactly. Right. So I will suggest that you should go for industrial training so that you have the right set of exposure in corporate.
And even I agree with this thing because I know Anurag for last 5 years, and I am seeing that the way he's taking up the things, the way he's learning new things there, the way he's communicating so well, and so even I, after being working with ITC for 1.5 year, suggest everybody to take up a chance, and because he's right that uh, if you just go by articleship of 2 years and you prepare well and qualify, that doesn't make any sense. You are still a part of a crowd. And if you go in industrial training, is in Tata, was in ITC, you have connects, you have a team, you had so much things to learn up before even qualifying.
Right. Like, see, the thing is, most people are doing articleship. They are getting exposure of audits and various works. But when we step into the corporate world, there are standards which are set by the particular company, and we need to work according to the standards. So the experience which you have gained in articleship is not that much relevant. I am not denying the fact that it is not at all relevant. It is not that much relevant when you are stepping into the corporate world. It will help you, but when you have the right exposure of industrial training, I'm pretty sure that it will be easier for you to get to land into your dream job or a perfect role which you want. Because in articleship, because most of the people are doing articleship from mid-sized firm or small firm, so they are not getting the right exposure to enhance their communication skills, their email writing skills, and how to deal with the clients, how to convince, how to persuade people. And if you don't know any specific set of work, you should know how to convince other people to do that work for you. So when you're stepping into the corporate world, you are automatically trying to learn those things. I personally feel that when I have joined Tata Motors, after that I can feel that my communication has enhanced. I know how to manage people. Like, I have been assigned with one of the employee. I need to keep monitoring on that employee. And apart from that, I know how to write emails, because like it's not that easy to write email. Sometimes people write email in a way that email is concluding nothing. It is only confusing and confusing. So you must know how to write email so that you can conclude your point in the most precise and accurate way. So these are the things which I guess will not be taught in articleship firms, and for that you need to join industrial training. And the thing is, like, VCAs are lagging from MBAs. So that gap can somehow be filled through this opportunity. Somehow, I'm not saying that totally it can be filled, but somehow a little bit, or like we can reduce that gap so that we can yeah, like that.
Great, great. All right, Anurag, thank you so much for your time. And I think we have discussed a lot about CDSL training. And anybody of you of amongst audience has any questions to us, I am attaching Anurag LinkedIn and my LinkedIn and the description below. So you can reach us any of us time.